Hey everyone, welcome to the Super Review Show's live stream right here. This is our very first attempt to do this. This is Kyle, the forehead Cushing. You may remember him from a while back. Joining us as always, as hopefully as you see him in the chat board. His name is Mr. Asimov, aka Andrew Schultes. How are you doing, guys?
Hello.
Hey, I'm doing fine.
Yep, we're doing good. And we're for pardon our strange setup here. We're just trying to do this the best we can. But tonight, for the next couple hours, we're just going to be discussing everything in the world of video games. And whether it's KOTOR, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's Red Dead Redemption, I don't give a crap what we're talking about tonight. We're talking all things video games right here for you guys tonight. Mm-hmm. And we hope you enjoy. I'm gonna let these two guys kick it off because they know a lot more about video games than I do. So we're going to sit back, relax, and let them talk. So
you can probably kick it off first.
I'll kick it off first.
I know what I'm talking about, but it's going to come later.
All right. So I'm going to let Andrew, my good friend right here, kick things off tonight to share his thoughts on all things video games and where they stand right now. Andrew, my good man, take it away.
Okay, so I guess I can start with what games I've been playing recently. That's probably going to give me a good rundown of what games I play, what my favorite game is. So currently, I'm a big, somewhat of a first-person shooter person. I like Bungie for their stuff with Destiny, and I'm playing Destiny 2 right now. They had a new, they have this new. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how these games do these things called seasons. So, in video game terms, season it's like every 3 months or so they have a set of content that comes out that for our players to play and partake in, and every 3 months that cycles out for new content, which is the new season. So Destiny this past week has had a new season come out that I've been playing a lot of recently, and that's been mainly my go-to for gaming recently. Has been Destiny 2. There's a new thing called Season of the Splicer. I probably have I've played that maybe an hour or two each day. That's one of the games I'm playing. If I'm not playing Destiny 2, I'm playing Battlefield 5 because that was made free to play. Not free to play. It's for PlayStation owners. If you have a PlayStation Plus account, every month they release 2 free games for the month.
You're just cutting out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me? Is that good now?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So for PlayStation owners, if you have a PlayStation, you have a PlayStation Plus account, which is like a subscription service. They give out 2 free games so every month for you to download and play. And one of the games this month was Battlefield 5, which is a World War II first-person shooter in the Battlefield franchise. And that's been when if I just want to mess around with fun, my brothers, I've been playing that. For other games, if I just want to relax, I've been playing this game from Ubisoft called Trackmania. It's like a little arcade racing game where you just you go around a custom track as fast as you can, pretty much. That's nothing much else to say about that game. So that's some of the games I'm currently playing. Every once in a while, I will go back into an old game that I would play from time to time, like Star Wars: The Old Republic, or like Apex Legends, which is a free-to-play battle royale. The Old Republic is in a weird space for me, in my opinion. It's I feel like at this point, this is going to be maybe a hot take or something like that, but I think they should stop making content for the game store thing. I feel like the story at this point is sort of ended. But they keep making new story content. I know back in December, they had this massive, basically a conclusion sort of thing for the main story arc that very much felt like a finale and sort of things. But then last month we had another story update come out and oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. So I only really play when it's a major update now. I used to play hardcore every day. I'd get on that game just to mess around and do stuff with it. But now it's not so much.
Or Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play as much as I used to anymore. Back in 2017 and 2018, I was playing that game every day.
I think it lost a lot of the appeal because it's not canon anymore. It's
I don't think.
only Legends now. So
But yeah, that's the
just
thing
for
though.
me
But like
personally.
that's a good take. But I don't think that's the main reason. I feel like at this point it's just it's sort of lost its flair. I feel like it came out in 2012, so
It's also becoming very convoluted. Like
it is
it's
and they just introduced a battle pass to the game, which I
yeah,
completely disagree
a
with.
lot.
It came out in 2012, and I feel like at this point it's sort of lost its like place or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's an old game. It's like almost as old as Skyrim.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's pretty old. Yeah, I've been watching walkthroughs on that, and the story as it went along got more and more convoluted. So I kind of lost interest in it.
Yeah, I was heavily invested in the story up until the main they had these two large expansions, Knights of the Forgotten Empire and Knights of the Eternal Throne. After Knights of the Eternal Throne, I sort of completely just lost interest with the story.
Yeah,
They had some good stuff afterwards. They brought like Timothy Zahn to do some story stuff from Zahn from the Thrawn trilogy, but there's not really much of an appeal in the story for me anymore.
yeah. I think the Star Wars games are heading in another direction too with Ubisoft, where they're making that free roam Star
Oh
Wars game.
yeah. That's a good point. That Ubisoft's making that open world game that it's been rumored or something like that.
I heard though that it's going to be like a bounty hunter game. You're not going to be a Jedi or Sith. That's a rumor.
Yeah. Okay. So have you ever heard
true.
of the game 1313?
No.
It was a canceled game that was in production before the Disney purchase of Lucasfilm. That when Disney bought the franchise, it was canceled. You can find a like it's like they was shown off at like a tech demo, like an 8-minute long gameplay segment of the game. Like yeah, that's right down there. In which it was like
I got it.
You originally it was going to be like you play as a bounty hunter on Coruscant in like the slums of Coruscant. Really cool setting.
Yeah.
And then eventually it became like a young Boba Fett game where you're playing as like a younger version of Boba Fett. Same setting. And then eventually when Disney bought the rights for Lucasfilm and they closed down the LucasArts games, the game was unfortunately canceled.
Well, a lot of games got canceled. They were going to make a Battlefield 3 in 2000.
Oh yeah, Battlefront 3. That was going to be one of them.
My bad. Yeah, Battlefront 3. They had a lot of concept art on that game.
Yeah, and it was funnily enough, like there's still a way you can play the story for the campaign for Battlefront 3.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
There was 2 PSP games for the there's like Battlefront PSP.
Really?
It's like Allied Assault, something like that, or Galactic Assault, in which basically it's like it was going to be the campaign of Battlefront 3. You know, like that. I was surprised I just found out about that. Like I found about it like a couple of years ago, and it's just like, so in a way the campaign still was able to live through to its end, but like the game itself was canceled.
Yeah.
But that 1313 was going to play like the Uncharted franchise. It's like if you see the gameplay, it's very Uncharted like.
Yeah.
But
also, I liked all the alternate histories they were going to do too with the concept art. I was interested in that too.
Oh yeah,
it would have been, I think, a game with a long shelf life. To be honest, a lot of different aspects to it, and I think it was going to be bigger than Battlefront 2, but never came because Disney bought. Yeah, I was gonna ask. So I was. You were talking about Battlefield 5, and I am gonna download that. I think this week. Now, my girlfriend and me played Battlefield 1 and she played Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. And she thought that with Battlefield 5, they went in the wrong direction. Like it's not as good as Battlefield 1. Do you like the game or
See, that's the thing. I've only, from my experience with Battlefield 1, I've only played the beta. I never bought Battlefield 1. I
Okay.
wanted to. I thought the setting for it was amazing. It was like a World War One first person shooter. That's like no one's ever done that before. It's like it's really cool
Yeah.
idea and concept. The only reason why I'm really playing Battlefield 5 is because
It's free.
It's free,
Yeah.
and they're making Battlefield 6 right now. So that's why like I want to play a
That
Battlefield
I'm
game.
excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that.
I think they're going to show it off next month or reveal it next month officially.
I think that would. I saw some of the engine they were using for it. It looks very
some
advanced.
screenshots were leaked or something like that. It looks really nice. It's gonna be modern again.
It looks yeah. I'm excited because I actually do like the modern battlefields. They're very good. I like Battlefield 1 a lot too, but the only problem I have with it is I like historical accuracy and
yeah.
With all the soldiers running around with like submachine guns is a little.
That was one thing I didn't like with Battlefield 1. I'm going to be honest with that because Battlefield 1 had there's a great YouTube channel called GameSpot. They have a series where they have a firearms expert review guns in video games.
Yep.
And he did a video for Battlefield 1, and he basically summed it up as Battlefield 1's like a steampunk World War 1.
Yeah,
it's like
well, when me and my girlfriend were playing, there was actually servers that people would make where they would have realistic guns. So
yeah,
you could only have
that I kind of wanted to do.
Yeah, so when I would play on that, I'd actually have more fun than when I would be playing. Like, I like the game as a whole. Like, I like all of Battlefield 1, but I think the historical realism brings a lot more to it than people think. Yeah, like where you can have the Gewehr, the Lee Enfield, the I think the Springfield was in that game. I'm not sure, but yeah, I like that. I like that. The historical accuracy.
Yeah, I want to say something about Battlefield 5 and its stuff. Battlefield 5 was launched terribly. I feel like they revealed that reveal trailer was really bad.
It was bad. I got so mad.
I feel like
go ahead.
I feel like the game didn't get like good media reception until the War in the Pacific trailer came out. Because that felt like a proper Battlefield experience looking thing. And also they make a World War II shooter, right? And at launch you don't include the M1 Garand, which is like the most iconic gun in World War II.
Yeah. And like I heard I've watched videos personally. Some of the physics in Battlefield 1 is actually better than Battlefield 5. Now, there's some physics better in Battlefield 5, but it wasn't like a step up. I feel like it was like they gave more customization options for Battlefield 5, but they like lacked the physics and even like the gun sounds, not as good as in Battlefield 1. I got really upset when they showed on the trailer the girl with the robotic arm.
Oh yeah, the amputee, and it's like, oh okay, I see.
Yeah, it was. It's like, and it's not even because that honestly that got me the most upset because in real life when soldiers get injured like that, it's not like they walk it off and put on a robotic arm. They have to go home. They're done for the war, and they have to live with that for their whole life. It's not like they just slap on a robotic arm and they're like, oh, let's go kick some Nazi butt. Yeah. It's kind of silly.
But my biggest disappointment, though, when I loaded up Battlefield 5, is it's like there's a huge emphasis on the in-game store. It's like all the cosmetic purchasable options you can make. It's like, oh, if you spend more money, you get coins, you can buy this cool looking outfit for your guy. And that was the main focus of Battlefield. And that's one of the things that people didn't really like it as much. And I agree with them on that.
Yeah, I feel like as long as it's for cosmetics, it's fine. Because with me, sometimes I'm cheap with that stuff. If it's all I have a problem when the in-game store starts relating to skill and ability. You pay to be better at the game. That's when I start having a problem.
Yeah, that was
for cosmetics.
It's mainly for cosmetics. But I feel like that. I don't feel like in Battlefield. I'm not sure if Battlefield 4 had anything like that. I feel like Battlefield 4, all the cosmetic stuff you earn by playing the game.
Yeah. I do prefer that personally. I know for Battlefront 2, they took away. They had those cosmetic options, and they had
Battlefront 2. I want to talk about that.
yeah, they got rid of all that.
Yep.
All that though.
Battlefront 2 had a really good comeback.
Yeah,
not Battlefield 2, JT. It's
play that all the
Battlefront.
time. Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 2, yeah. So Battlefront 2 had a much better comeback. And the only problem, like I love Battlefront 2. The only problem I had with it is some of the servers.
There was some
server
lag
you can
issues.
have, like, yeah, I get in a supremacy match for like Age of Rebellion, and like freaking TIE fighters are like teleporting into the ground and stuff. It's just they need to upgrade their servers, but besides that, the gameplay, PvP, all that is great. I mean, they host 1v1 lightsaber duels, and it's a lot of it's skill, and it's like a really good game to just.
I love the PvE co-op where you just like defend waves against waves of enemies.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
Same.
And then like they're bringing back of Republic Commandos, like, and looking at making Republic Commandos look realistic. That was so cool.
They did really good with that.
Yeah, they did a good job making that come back pretty much. And it's like they only had like 100 people working on the game, and that's not a lot in terms of AAA gaming.
I mean, yeah, like I always get embarrassed because I'm an active player on Red Dead Online. I always get embarrassed when I see EA do better at fixing their game than Rockstar, like a multi-billion-dollar company.
If you want to segue into Red Dead, I mean, like,
or Rockstar related, anything GTA, Red Dead, that's fine.
I played last year.
Red Dead 2?
Yeah, Red Dead 2.
Gotcha.
Last year, I played Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like in the right beginning of the pandemic, pretty much. Yeah, and I was absolutely blown away with the main story. I think that's like one of the best stories in the gaming. Arthur Morgan, best like protagonist. He was so good. But the online just really killed my mood. I did not love that online at all. I hated it.
I am an active member in online, and I hate it just as much as you. The only reason I have it is because I have so many online friends who play that game, and I'm in like a big PvP crew. So it's like I have to have the game, but when I get the chance, I do other things. Like I don't actively play. Right, like I don't want to actively play it. It's a game that has so much potential. Mm-hmm. But I think what happened is, I don't know if you want to talk about like Rockstar recently, the company of Red Dead Redemption. I think they've been really money hungry lately.
Oh, it's because they're all focused on GTA. Yeah,
GTA and just the like milking that game. They don't really care about. They're starting. I think my personal opinion. I know it's like a hot take, but I think personally, more and more as time goes on, they're caring about sitting on their cash. Not Rockstar.
Oh,
yeah, you're good. Actually, I want to talk about Rocksteady next. But Rockstar likes to sit on their cash and not invest in new games. Like I know with GTA 6, I hope it's going to be good, but instead of like caring about creating a good story and creating good like protagonists, now they got rid of their main writer, Sam Houser, or he left. So I feel like GTA 6 is not going to have as good of a story. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, we'll have to see. But I mean, yeah, I think that Rockstar has to not go. The direction they're going in right now is the wrong direction. I feel
absolutely.
Like. Yeah. But yeah. And I heard there was did you see the map leaks apparently for GTA 6?
No, I did not. I haven't been I'm not really a big GTA fan. So I don't really follow that sort of news. What did they know like where it's going to be set or something like that?
So I think there's a few theories right now. They think it's going to be in Vice City, or it's going to be in cities across South America. I heard one rumor about 7 cities. I don't think that's true. I'm sure they're going to make it like Vice City and like Southern Florida or something.
Yeah, Vice City. That's their like Miami like knockoff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I think that's going to be the place. And I heard it might be set in the 70s or 80s. So that would be interesting. There's a lot of baggage around 1980s Miami with the drug war and stuff like that. So they can do a lot with that.
True, but I feel like that's been done already in other GTA.
True. I
games.
mean, the last Vice City game, that was that. It was the 1980s, and it was during
Yeah.
the drug war. So that was actually something I was going to say too. I feel like they should. So maybe they could make another. You could make a lot of good storylines off of that. I mean, Scarface, all these there's a lot of 80s gang centered movies, but I feel like what I would like to see. I'd like to see like a more modern take, like in Chicago or Detroit or one of these cities that today is having a lot of problems and a lot of crime. I think that would be
That could still be Miami, honestly.
yeah, still, but like if you look at Chicago, like the murder rates,
yeah.
it's like more than New York and LA combined. And New York and LA both have bigger populations than Chicago, and it's like the city right now is a mess. They could do a big GTA game on that. They have the Great Lakes, they have Chicago. I mean, if you want, you could add Detroit to that too, because Detroit is like a 2-hour drive from Chicago. You could probably put those cities in both the map in case the city isn't big enough. I mean, but like I said, I feel like the fact that they're going back to Vice City is like that notion that they're sitting on their cash and not being original. They're starting to turn into EA. That's what I feel.
Oh yeah, I can see what you mean with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what developers not like EA but still is owned by EA?
What?
Respawn Entertainment.
I did not hear about Respawn.
They're the guys that did Titanfall.
Really?
Yeah, and most recently they did Apex Legends and a Star Wars game. They did Jedi Fallen Order.
You talked to me about this.
Yeah, it's honestly, I want to say something about Jedi Fallen Order because that's probably my favorite Star Wars game, honestly, even which many people probably won't because it's like they still like KOTOR a lot. This game, it's basically, if you want to get into like the Dark Souls like franchise, pretty much, you want to play Fallen Order because it's pretty much an intro to that franchise in game type. I had a great time with this game. It's how the combat worked, how the exploration is like old Metroid Prime like exploration. I love that sort of stuff. And then the story was cool. How like you're looking for a holocron to rebuild the Jedi Order. That's like the main like plot MacGuffin, pretty much. And then I really liked just like the look of the game, just how it's a good Star Wars game. We haven't had a good Star Wars game launch successfully. I mean, like Battlefront 2 is good now, but this was like one that launched without a problem.
Oh yeah,
it was a full single player, no microtransactions Star Wars game in 2018. I think that's when this came out, or 2019. That would have been published by EA of all things.
Yeah.
It's like EA gives Respawn like creative control.
I think
over
that
their
I think there's going to be a sequel, right?
Oh yeah,
I think there's going to be a sequel to Fallen Order.
Yeah,
right?
I believe Respawn's already working on the sequel.
Yeah,
and I have full trust in Respawn and what they do because I've never really played a game that I felt like that they failed on. They're a relatively new company. They made like I said, Titanfall was their first game as a studio. That came out I think 2014. It was like a next gen title.
It was actually Titanfall 2 was free a few months ago.
Yeah, it was so then Titanfall 2 came out. They made Titanfall 2, which had a single player story that was very enjoyable. It's probably the best one, my favorite of FPS campaigns. Because the guys that made it, they also did Call of Duty. They made the first Modern Warfare game.
I remember that. Yep.
So and they have this really cool like time travel mission halfway through the game. I don't want to spoil it because there's some really cool stuff that happens in it. But like the movement in Titanfall 2 was like it's what made it really fun to play. It's like you can have full creative control in your movement pretty much.
I know with Apex too, that's one of the more popular PvP games now. I didn't have the chance to play it yet, but I know some of my online friends have played it and they like the game.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan. I really dislike like battle royale genres and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But
me too.
Apex Legends is the only battle royale I've played that I've enjoyed as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of battle royale too, so
Yes.
we have that in common. So
Nice.
I think battle royale is a really cheap way to like a way to market your game as like a full game. It's like, you know, you can do so much other stuff with PvP than like just forcing everyone to the center of the map to kill each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually when I play Warzone, I rather play cash, or what is it called? Plunder, where it's like a free roam mode where you have to get the most money to win.
Okay.
I'd rather play that than the actual like gulag and you know, you start off with a pistol and the gas comes and pushes everyone together, because it's I don't know, I just feel like regular PvP is much more entertaining than battle royale PvP.
Yeah, I feel like you like what was it? Titanfall 2. That's
I love Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that game was really good.
And I heard that Vader might be coming back for Jedi Fallen Order 2. I'm not sure if that's true. I think they said he might be a bigger enemy or a more main enemy instead of just popping up at the end of the game like he did for the first one.
Yeah, I haven't heard any like story development or anything.
Cool. I think it would be good to see him.
Yeah, his cameo at the end was really fun. I haven't heard anything.
Really cool. It wasn't even a boss fight. It was run for your life. You know, it was really cool.
And that's how Vader should be.
Yeah, he should be like Vader. I was talking about this with one of my friends. When it comes to like when you put Vader in video games, he has to be like a horror character almost, because that's what he was marketed as, like in the movies. He's meant to be like this really big villain, like, you know, who's like just gonna get stuff done and get what he wants, you know. But sometimes they don't market him as that, and it takes away from the appeal of his character. Right. But Jedi Fallen Order definitely did Vader right, and I mean, but hopefully, like you see, like Cal get better, and maybe he can have a more prolonged fight with Vader in the second one, or maybe you know. Yeah, because he has a lot of progression still.
One thing that I would like to see in the sequel is, I'm not sure if it's going to be Cal again. If it is Cal, I'm perfectly okay with that. I would like to see and this is maybe just for like a Star Wars game in general, but I want a Star Wars game with a really good character creator. Yeah,
that would be good. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. Yeah,
because a game that I really love that has like mainly for its character creator, Monster Hunter World, and like the Monster Hunter franchise. That game's character creator is so detailed looking. I really want to make a Star Wars character look like one of my Monster Hunter characters.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like, the Star Wars universe is so big that you can like create a character, the canon or stuff like that. I feel like if they give us more creation options, people will appreciate the Star Wars franchise more, because like that's what we all want to do as little kids, is like play a Star Wars game and like as our own character or something.
And like Star Wars: The Old Republic, they have a character creator. They can select whatever, like from a select race if you want, but like it's not detailed enough.
No, it's not at all. I mean, even KOTOR, KOTOR. Even KOTOR, like, you know, you had you can make Revan look however you want, but
but it was like only from like a select you can only be human, and it was just like a few tile sets. You couldn't like do a full like, I want to have a beard and a tattoo, something like that.
Yeah, which would be very cool.
Wrong KOTOR. Sorry.
KOTOR, yeah. Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, I before I want to talk about Rocksteady and the Batman stuff, but before that, one more thing with KOTOR.
Sure.
Did you see the mod that they made for KOTOR 2, which added all the deleted?
I've played it. I played
Really?
that
You
mod.
did?
Yeah, it's called the restored content mod.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like as good as the first one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So the thing was, for those who are unaware, KOTOR 2, the sequel to KOTOR 1, released unfinished. So like there was missing stuff from the game, pretty much. And there's a mod that someone made that restores all the missing content into the game. So you get all this missing like plot points from like the HK-47 like factory, like the true ending pretty much for the game, as well as a bunch of side stuff as well. And I think back in 2019 or so, I believe that I played that mod for like the first time, and it's just a completely different experience from the regular KOTOR 2 experience. And like it adds so much, and the story is complete. It's the complete game.
Yeah, and people say it's like actually the story and the character development is on par with
that mod. Yeah, with that mod, I'd say KOTOR 2 probably takes for the best story, like my favorite video game story. But for like my favorite Star Wars game, mainly for gameplay, I'm gonna go with Fallen Order because I like the combat in Fallen Order more.
Fallen Order is a very good combat system.
Yes,
I enjoy it a lot.
It's Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say if you want to pull up Gotham Knights, I heard some news about that.
I heard it got delayed or something.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend have been wanting to play this game a lot. Yeah. So basically, you get to play with three other friends, and you get to go across Gotham, and
it's a sequel to the Arkham game, right?
Yeah. So what I heard is one thing that is a little concerning to me. I think you can look this up because I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Look up is Gotham Knights made by the same developer as Arkham Origins? I want to see that because I think I heard that. Developer, yeah.
1 second. There we go. Sorry, guys. WB Games Montreal.
Yeah. I think that's Arkham Origins too, right? To look up Arkham Origins game developer.
Hold on. Yep. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Arkham. What was it?
Origins.
Arkham Origins.
Origins. Hold on.
I think that is the same.
I'm typing with one hand, so.
WB Games Montreal. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I've heard Origins was the weakest one.
Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about. That. The whole spin in Arkham Origins really I felt like Joker didn't need to be in the game. He was kind of like forcing the game. I think that I'm a little worried because I don't think they understand what makes a Batman game or like the people who made the other Arkham games, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight.
Arkham City.
Yeah, that's a great game. I do like the boss battles though in Arkham Origins.
They are,
that's it because the boss battles in the other Arkham games are like compared to the boss battles in Origins, but the story and the detective feel is a lot less. I feel like I heard something that it's going to be more like a level up base game, Gotham Knights, than a like Arkham game, which I heard and I was a little worried about. I feel like the main reason I play Arkham and the main reason I play like Batman games is to be a detective because that's what Batman is.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you make a game where it's like this Elder Scrolls, like you have to level up to beat certain characters and
right,
or you can't, like I feel like that's a little non-Batman.
When I saw it looks like it was more action oriented.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like one of those beat 'em up games. Like a side-scrolling beating up, except it's not side-scrolling, of course.
But I am excited for the game. Like I am super excited for this game. Some stuff that have been coming out have been like, for me.
And then then it got delayed till 2022.
Yeah, which I'm like super like bummed out about because I really wanted to play the game like as soon as as soon as possible because I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, it looks great. Like visually,
it's stunning.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited for this game. Like I like the combat system too. Like the way how they showcased it, where you can like you can play with your friend, and like your friend will throw up the enemy, and then the other one will kick them or something, and it's like teamwork based.
And then each character has their own moveset, pretty much.
Yeah. Would you want? Here's a question: would you want Batman to show up at the end of the game as a playable character?
Actually, since look, I've never played any of the Arkham games, but I know
Really?
I know the story pretty much. I think I know how Arkham Knight ends. With like Batman, faking his death, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I say faking because I'm
don't really
sure. Yeah. This story is going to follow him faking his death to infiltrate the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to be the plot of the game.
That actually, I never even thought about that. I feel like that's actually probably where they're going to go with. He faked his death so he can infiltrate them because they're really secretive, and if he's not faking his death, they're going to know where he is. So
yeah, and I think in the world premiere trailer for this, they teased the Court of Owls or something like that.
They did, yeah. They had a whole section on it about them. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think the plot of the game's going to be.
Which I think is interesting. I mean, Talon is probably as good as a fighter as Batman, so I feel like that is going to be pretty interesting where you have a character that's almost as good as Batman fighting you. So maybe you need to team up with your friends to take him down or something. So, I mean, I feel like I'm excited for it, but like I said, there's a few things that I'm worried about in terms of the developer, in terms of how they handled the Arkham Origin story, and how the game is, like some of the game mechanics are in terms of leveling up and stuff. But besides that, I think it looks solid. The visuals are like really good. I think how each character has their own set of moves is really cool. I mean, you got Tim Drake who can do the teleporting stuff, and then I think Batgirl's the only one who can like glide through the air.
It makes sense
and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty interesting. But that's all I have to really say about that game.
I mean, earlier you brought up you made a point of good boss fights, so I kind of want to segue into that into my next games or so. It's gonna be 2 games, same developer. They're really good. The first one's gonna be Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah.
I played this one for the first time back in 2017, I think. This is my first introduction to the franchise. This is what got me into it. And boy, let me tell you, I absolutely love this. The boss designs, the gameplay was so damn good. And then I played through a game by same developer but different franchise, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. In that game, I made sure I 100%. I got all the achievements in that game. And Sekiro, that won Game of the Year back in 2019, and I have to say that it deserved that award. That gameplay, the boss fights, and how fast and brutal that game is amazing.
Yeah, I heard Dark Souls. I've never actually personally played any of the Dark Souls, but I've heard that the character bosses make people get like really angry and upset how hard it is.
My favorite part about Dark Souls 3 is that is the soundtrack. Each boss has its own theme, and like there's no music playing during the game. It's like music only plays when you get to a boss fight, pretty much. And when the boss fight begins, it goes all out. The first boss has like this amazing like orchestra and choir combination. That's just it makes you feel like, how is this the first boss of the game? And then of course he kicks your ass pretty much.
Yeah.
But if you want to get into the franchise, it's ironically Dark Souls 3 is where a good place to start. It's the most welcoming out of the main franchise. It's the only one I've played as well, but I feel like I agree with the sentiment. Like, yeah, if you want to get into the franchise, play 3 first. It's the most welcoming.
Yeah.
And I want to segue over to another game. Like I said earlier, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. That game has a completely different move set and combat mechanics than 3. Where 3 is more like you're slow, you have a shield with you all the time. You can take blows, you have a stamina bar. So it's very like heavy-handed, like you hit everything very hard. Sekiro, on the other hand, that's all fast combat. You have to parry, like you have to press the block button at the right time to basically damage your opponent's like posture meter. It's like you have the little bar that fills up over time, and when that breaks, then you could get like a critical blow in on them. And then this leads to some insane fights where you're just like blocking left and right, and at really fast speeds and critical moments where you have to jump to like avoid a sweeping attack or like step on the guy's blade to block it. It was probably one of my favorite like combat mechanics out there. It's probably like, yeah, I'd say it's my favorite like combat system in all video games.
I've heard of that game too. Never got around to playing it, sadly though.
Yeah, that's another game I recommend playing. It's weird. It's like it's a game that like I said, I recommend playing like Fallen Order to get into it, because Fallen Order's combat system is very similar to Sekiro's. In which
I also felt like Fallen Order it reminded me I think of Ghost of Tsushima a little bit. Not completely, but some of the combat reminded me of that.
Yeah, so in Fallen Order, you can block, you can hold your block button, you'll block enemy attacks coming towards you. But in Fallen Order, if you press the block button right before the enemy attack lands, you get a parry pretty much, where you stun the enemy. And that's very much similar to Sekiro's. Sekiro is all about blocking at the last second to parry the attack, and then you can counterattack.
Yeah, I haven't. I know like some of the Dark Souls and I haven't heard much of Sekiro, but I've heard Dark Souls has like a really good combat system, and it's very like you got to practice, learn the dodge moves, learn the stuff like that.
The difference it's so funny seeing the difference between the Dark Souls combat system and the Sekiro combat system, even though the game's made by the same developer. It's a completely different play style.
Yeah, they probably did that on purpose.
Yeah, it's kind of
probably
funny
did it on
because
purpose.
It's like when you play Sekiro after playing Dark Souls 3, you want to or a Dark Souls game. I tend to approach fights in a Dark Souls manner. It's like, oh, but this is not Dark Souls. This is Sekiro. I have to be much faster. I have to be more aggressive than Dark Souls. So being defensive in Sekiro is like it's not going to help at all. You have to be aggressive in that game.
Yeah.
And once that combat system clicks, it's like you're all set. It's amazing at that point.
Yeah. Also, it came up. Well, I thought of. Have you ever played Elder Scrolls?
I have not, but I know a lot of people love that franchise. With
go to Elder
Skyrim.
Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6. There's been a lot of news on that. Like,
there's been news about this recently. I haven't been aware of that.
Yeah. So, I don't know if they confirmed it or it's like semi-rumor, semi-confirmed. Apparently, the game is going to be in Hammerfell, which is the area, like it's a desert area with orcs, I think red guards, and then I think also what's added is High Rock, so the place where Elder Scrolls Daggerfall took place. So that's very interesting. But I know probably if there are any gamers watching, they probably know that they're a little concerned about the engine that it's running on. So hopefully Bethesda took this extra time from the reveal to now to make their engine a little better, because they're running on like a 2002 or 2004 engine.
All I know about 6 so far is that there's no release date set in stone, and that it's going to be exclusive to the Xbox or something like that. It's going to be a PC port, of course, but like for consoles, it's only going to be on Xbox.
Well, I heard they're going to actually add it to PS5 too. Well, actually, let's look that up because this is
confirm it. I'm not sure.
So Elder Scrolls 6 is running. Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft. Yeah. I do know that. But the problem is Elder Scrolls 6 is running on a engine that is this game. So it's a little bit concerning I hope they upgrade the engine or make a new one when people started complaining. But let's see, Elder Scrolls 6 consoles. Let's see, just to make sure, because you could be right. Those consoles.
Yeah, I think it's like they want to have it be on Xbox first, and then like have a
Yeah,
PlayStation
something like
release
that.
date later.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Wait, potentially, yeah. Which would leave PS5 players out a chance to play the Skyrim sequel. That would be very disappointing. I feel like they would make more money doing both.
Yeah, well, if you look at how much Microsoft bought Bethesda for, I'm pretty sure they want it to be exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah. Where's this? Where's the scrolling down? JT.
I think it's 2 fingers on the iPad or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I'll do it first.
So there's a lot we don't know about Elder Scrolls 6, but at least we know. Okay, yeah. So
Really quick, Tyler Thunder, welcome to the chat board.
uh,
He's a longtime viewer, Mike. He's waited a long time for this.
other going on. Yeah, Microsoft bought Bethesda for 7.5 million last year, and rumors are swirling that Elder Scrolls. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan was unsure if Elder Scrolls would come to PS5, and Bethesda recently confirmed that there will be some Xbox exclusivity for this future series.
But
I might just get Elder Scrolls 6 for PC then. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't,
you get mods at that point too. You can mod
because
the
I
game.
have I'm gonna get a PS5, so I'm
Go for
yeah.
if you can find one.
it. That's true.
Oh my god,
It's ridiculous.
Oh,
I have a
but,
PS4 now.
speaking of Bethesda, JT might be interested in this one, but they're making an Indiana Jones game.
I heard about this too, and actually, I did a trailer review for it. I got it. I did a trailer review for it too, which was great.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
so for when it comes to video games, there's always a developer and then there's a publisher. So
Yeah,
Bethesda is not really developing the Indiana Jones game. The developers are Machine Games, and it's being published by Bethesda because Machine Games is owned by Bethesda.
Mhm.
So Machine Games, they're the ones that recently made the Wolfenstein games.
Mhm.
So it's a similar way in there in which you're killing a bunch of Nazis pretty much. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is there's not really much to say about this one other than because we just have that trailer that just came out like last month.
yeah.
Actually, this is actually a good carry point because the reason why this made such a big splash was the fact that Indiana Jones is a Lucasfilm, a LucasArts title. It's a LucasArts game pretty much, and EA was in a contract for publishing rights for all Lucasfilm games, like all Star Wars games. They have that license, that 10-year contract, and then earlier this year they announced that hey, Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game. Like, whoa, that means like EA has lost essentially the contract. It was originally going to go to like I think like 2024 or something like that, or 2023. They still had some years left on it, but then I think Disney like pulled out of it and said like, hey, we're going to give the games to other developers. We'll give the rights to publish games to other developers, and I think like that's such a good move on Disney's part. I think.
Oh yeah.
Because that
Some competition.
that could bring back to the old golden age of Lucasfilm games, in which there was always like a major title coming out each year, pretty much.
I think that would be a very good step for Star Wars. Competition always leads to better competition, especially in markets, always leads to a better quality. So I think that if EA realizes that these games are going to be better than theirs, they're going to start upping their game, and if not, then they're probably going to sell Star Wars away. So,
well, yeah, I feel like at this point, it's I know Respawn is currently making they're making a sequel to. I firmly believe they're making a sequel to Fallen Order. But every other game that was rumored to be in development by EA was canceled. Like the studio was closed down.
It was.
Yeah, like a bunch of developer studios were closed down. I think Remedy was one of them, something like that. It was like one of the developers for the Dead Space franchise. They were shut down and they were working on a Star Wars video game. that was going to be the spiritual successor to 1313. That's why I brought it up earlier. And that's why I brought up 1313 up earlier, was because I think that Ubisoft game you mentioned that they're working on is the spiritual successor to 1313.
Ubisoft has always worried me though too, like especially like
they don't have a good track record as of late.
Yeah, well, actually, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This one right here. I still have that actually downloaded on my PS4 right now. It's actually a solid game. The only problem I have with it is that more and more for each Assassin's Creed title, the story is becoming more convoluted.
Yeah,
and
I want to actually bring up to a good point I had with the Assassin's Creed franchise as a whole. Like, I haven't played a single one. I want to get into the franchise, but the problem with Assassin's Creed is like I love the setting, I love the history stuff, but they ruin it with the modern day stuff. I hate that.
Yeah,
I wish they just stopped the modern day stuff.
They've been having a problem getting away with it. There's like this, since the first one, it's always been like, you know, the Templars and then the Assassins control the world, and you know they fight each other for like their philosophies. And you have this character who, in the Assassin's Creed universe, your genetics hold the memories of your ancestors.
Yeah, so then they use this machine that allows you to go back and see what your ancestors did. Basically, how you play as the history part.
And now, I do like some of the lore where you go back in time to the first civilization, and I don't know, they're called the Isu or something. And
something like that.
It's really nice. That's okay. I mean, I like adding extra stuff to the story, but the story is less about assassins and more like the Assassins versus Templar, which the games were set to be about, like two philosophies fighting each other. Are humans bred to follow, or are humans free? Do humans have free will?
Yeah, and then it boils down to this like end of the world plot.
Yeah, and now it's like end of the world, or you just like, oh, we like Vikings, so let's make a Viking game. There's no like philosophy behind it anymore. It's just like what looks cool. And
I also don't like the when the soft reboot they did with Origins, where like they changed the gameplay drastically from. I know when I think Syndicate, that was one set in London. Yeah, I know when Syndicate came out, that's when people started getting tired of like the formulaic gameplay. I do like how they changed it with Origins, but I'm not a fan of the new stuff really.
Well, like the only thing I can say good about Origins and Valhalla is the combat system I would like, but with the improved combat system, they've brought down the parkour and the stealth aspect of the game, which they could add both. Like, there's no reason you can't have both to the game. But I mean, I like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's like a decent addition, but it's not like the old Assassin's Creed. It's not like honestly, I even like Assassin's Creed 3 better, even though I know that's a buggy mess. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't mean to cut you off your conversation, but I just want to point out in the chat board that there's a longtime viewer of ours here on the Super Review Show, Tyler Thunders, in the chat board. I just want to give a shout out to him. We're right now where I'm talking to him separately from your conversation, and he's talking about. He says, "quote No Man's Sky is one of my favorite games. It had such a terrible launch, but it had a great comeback. Very awesome game now, and the thing I love about it is all the updates and patches are free."
Oh yes,
I love No Man's Sky.
I consider No Man's Sky to be the greatest video game comeback, like of all time.
Better than Battlefront 2, yeah. Even better, even bigger than that.
Yeah, so there are three games I consider to have great comebacks. Number one, No Man's Sky. Number two, it's going to be Final Fantasy 14, which is like an MMO. And then number three is going to be Battlefront 2. But No Man's Sky had a really bad launch, and I remember playing that launch. I was like,
"It was dead." The game died so quickly. There was nothing to it, and now
they just like kept updating it pretty much. I remember there's a really good video on YouTube by I think the Internet Historian that did a whole entire breakdown of why No Man's Sky failed at launch, And a lot of it was due to like the main developer being terrible PR, and which like he kept making promises during like interviews, like multiplayer stuff like that, and then it never happened. And then like everyone got mad about it. Then they went like dead silent for like 3 months and came out with an update, and then they kept making more updates. And next thing you know, No Man's Sky Next comes out, which is like the main update that was everyone said like this is the main comeback. Is No Man's Sky is actually like a game now. And that's when I really enjoyed it. And I gotta say, I love the soundtrack to this game. The soundtrack to this game is done by this band called 65 Days of Static, and they have some really relaxing stuff. I love them.
No Man's Sky is actually the biggest game map out of any game ever. I think it's like self-creating.
Yeah,
like,
so it's
it's
procedural generated.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like the biggest one for like ever created for the video game. That was one thing that was not a lie when they were talking about it for release.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I think my friend said that like it's not even fully explored. It's procedurally generated.
I don't think that game will ever be fully explored. You can encounter random people in your journey. It's like you come across a system and someone else would come into your system. Like that's really cool. Yeah. But I don't think you ever find a part where it's like, oh, no one's been here before, or it's like you never get to a part where there is nothing left to explore. Like, there's always something to explore in that game.
I also just want to point out to you guys that he's also saying in the chat board, the next free update is going to be combat themed, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that should be interesting. PvP, maybe. Some PvP is always interesting.
Yeah. If you, Tyler Thunder, if you have any other like suggestions on stuff like that, let me know.
Oh, that's my girlfriend.
Hey, how you doing? Moonless night, how you doing? It's good to see you.
You can play RDR2 with VR. Oh, that's actually very interesting.
That's a thing now?
I guess so. You can play RDR2 with VR.
Oh, nice.
I did not know that. I'm actually stumped right now. I wonder if it's for campaign or if it's for online.
I think it's going to be for single player.
Probably for single player. That would be pretty. I know who's like a very big person in PvP. I can't see you playing VR for like online. It'd be too hard.
Yeah, it's VR is it's sort of a niche thing right now. Very few games can do it well. That's actually a good segue because there's a like I said, most VR is tech demos.
That's cool.
Yeah. Very rarely is there like a complete game that's just VR. I think the best example of a VR game was one that came out last year called Half-Life Alyx. That was a full VR experience, like from what I hear.
So I because she brought up Red Dead 2, I'm remembering. I forgot news. It's probably a little biased because I play Red Dead a lot, but it's also for GTA players. There's 2 summer updates coming out for each game. Now next week they're coming out with 8 new races. So hopefully, this is going to be a hot take. I was talking about this with my girlfriend yesterday. There's a lot of problem with Red Dead Redemption racing. One is the gun. They have guns in racing. And the second one is, for some reason, when you're racing your horse, when you get to first place, they start slowing your horse down. So hopefully, I'm hoping Rockstar listens to fans and they just make a generic race that's just normal. Like it's like whose horse is the fastest, because there's a lot more that goes into horse racing than just the stats. It's your handling. It's everything. There's a lot of stuff to horses in Red Dead. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be playing that when it comes out with some of my friends. I did not hear about, for the summer update for Red Dead, and we can look up GTA next. For the summer update for Red Dead, I heard they're going to be adding robberies finally.
Oh, and about time. I was going to ask about that. Are they going to have like heists and stuff?
Yeah. So apparently they're going to start soft with like robberies. Hopefully after that they come out with
like a bank heist.
Yeah, like a bank heist, or they're the only bank heist they have is really lame. It's just it's a mission. It's not like anything where you have any autonomy to like choose how you're gonna rob the bank, to choose which bank you're gonna hit. It's just you go in, get money for someone, and get out. It's lame, but hopefully this is a step in the right direction. And if not, just use it for the next GTA Online. I mean, and could you look up GTA Online update? I heard about the Red Dead update, but
Yeah.
online summer update.
Online summer, and after GTA, I just want to bring up Tyler's bringing up another thing too. It's about Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah, we should probably talk about that too.
Hold on. What's a GTA Online summer update? Yeah. Whoops, wrong word. Hold on. Sorry, everyone. Update. There we go. Let's see. This is just images.
Is this it? The summer?
You tell me.
Details. Stunt races. Okay, so like Red Dead, there's new 8 new races. And then they should say about the summer update. They just should give us. Just because I know more people play GTA Online, so it'd be a little unfair if I didn't.
It's funny because GTA Online is like still one of the most sold games.
Yeah,
each year.
I mean, if I could, I would only talk about Red Dead, but that would be like biased. So GTA Online,
good stuff.
High action cruise in the street. You know, yeah, the races. Okay. Shortly thereafter, futuristic deadline mode will set. Okay, so there's new modes coming out. Survival mode. Yeah, I heard about that. Survival mode for Red Dead. I heard about that too. I didn't know much about that, but so same thing, 8 new races. So yeah, it's going to be races, new modes, new stuff. I don't know how big it's going to be, but hopefully it's going to be somewhat big. Hopefully they add horses for my girlfriend because she's obsessed with horses. So
I got the horses in the back, right?
Horses. That's right. Best song ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cyberpunk. If he wants us to talk about that.
So we got so many requests in the chat board. This is great.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 27.
That's the release date. Sorry. He was just bringing up how he talked about. I hope Cyberpunk 2077 can make a No Man's Sky style comeback as well.
Yeah, that game.
On that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so 2077. That game.
I remember the advertisements for this. This was like
Keanu Reeves.
It looked good, and it was so. My opinion, it's so bad.
Yeah.
I couldn't play the game for more than like 2 hours. I just got sucked out of it because of the bug.
You still can't. You still can't buy it on the PlayStation store. Because back when it released, it was so bad, people wanted refunds. Sony removed it from the online store, and now you still can't buy it for PlayStation 4 at least.
Was it bad or was it good?
It was
bad. Okay, so wait. It was decent on PC and I think next gen consoles, which no one has. It was only good on those things. For most players who have an Xbox One and PS4, the game was virtually unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest lie about it was like when they were marketing all the trailers and gameplay, they would say this is on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. And then when they got the game, it's completely different. There's tons of bugs everywhere. It was still buggy on PC. It launched in an incomplete state pretty much.
Ugh.
And so now they're focusing on making patches to update it, essentially.
I was gonna say, I remember all the on TV they had actual like on ESPN and stuff like that. They had advertisements for it.
Oh yeah, you'll get ads for video games everywhere. That's simple marketing, pretty much. But but like you have the Keanu Reeves and all the ads because he's actually like a major character in the game, or the character he plays.
One more thing by Tyler Thunder about Cyberpunk. He said the free patch 1.3 will be out for Cyberpunk 2077 soon. Hopefully, it will get the game in a good state.
I mean, yeah, that's one thing. You want to wish games to do good, but it's just like I have no idea what to think of Cyberpunk. I know, was it CD Projekt Red? They did a good job with the Witcher games, and like everyone loves the Witcher games, and I want them to do good with Cyberpunk, but like in the state they released it in, it's just absolutely abysmal.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
There's so many funny meme videos that still come out about Cyberpunk. Like it's like, oh, they fixed Cyberpunk, and it's like a 10-second video. And your character's like near a bridge, and then he gets thrown across the city. Right?
That's great.
It's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The chat board's blown up. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys are amazing.
But do you play Fortnite? No, Karina, no one plays Fortnite here. Okay. You already said it was a bad.
Andrew, do you play Fortnite?
No, I refuse to play Fortnite.
It's terrible. She's just joking though.
She also brought up Minecraft as well.
Yeah, so
Minecraft
actually, I
is
did
good.
want to talk
Minecraft
about
is
that.
Are we gonna talk about Minecraft?
Yeah.
right, we're gonna take a
I
jump over that.
heard that they're gonna add ray tracing to Minecraft.
Oh yeah, no, they already did.
They already did, right? For the
Yeah.
new consoles
For consoles, I'm not sure, but PC you can do it.
or PC, yeah.
And I've seen videos of it. It looks uncanny realistic at some points. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's really cool. I cannot wait to try it. It's definitely interesting.
Minecraft is a game that I won't touch for like a good half of a year, and then all of a sudden I'm playing it like day in and day out because my brothers we just create a new world, open up a LAN pretty much, and just play together. It's really fun at times.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a game that you just really. It's like a game. Well, I know from my personal opinion, when I like play Call of Duty, Red Dead Online PvP, or like Battlefront or something, I'll go to Minecraft to like cool off. It's like a very relaxing game. It's for everyone, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of relaxing games, this was back at the start of the pandemic. I bought the game like a year beforehand, but I didn't really get into it. There's this little game called Stardew Valley. It's made by one guy who does all the music, the gameplay, the writing, pretty much. It's all done by one guy, and it's just a little farming game. They just make a farm pretty much. And that was like at the beginning of the pandemic when I was unemployed, pretty much. That was like my therapy for 4 hours a day, pretty much. I would play the game nonstop.
Oh yeah,
I got really into it at the start of the pandemic.
you can. What did Tyler Thunder ask?
Oh yeah, I was just want to say Tyler Thunder has a quick question in the chat, but I'm looking to get both your opinions on it. Do you believe the rumor that GTA 6 will release in late 2023?
You can go first.
Talk to me. This is all you guys. I have no idea.
Okay, so 2023. That sounds likely, but I'm gonna say 2024 with the current state of how well GTA Online's doing with the money making.
Yeah. You know, I actually do agree with you there. I think 2023 or later. I don't think that they're in any rush to sell the game with how much money they're making from GTA 5, which again is unfortunate because they're cash sitting. They're not investing in new games or new game mechanics, which can yield them more money. But yes, I do agree with you. I think 2023, but most likely later. I think they're going to really sit on GTA 5 online mode, unfortunately.
Gotcha. All right.
I build everything in Minecraft while Kyle eats the food. Yeah, you're lying. I get you all the. Okay, whatever. I get.
Yeah, Minecraft is it's like a bad day cure, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anything else for GTA 6? Comments, concerns, questions going on once, twice?
No, I think that's pretty good for GTA.
Yeah.
I mean,
how big of a time span is in between the other games?
oh, do you know when GTA 5 released? Guess.
Was it 2015?
2013.
Oh my god! Wow,
It is almost 10 years old. It's 8 years old. And
That's
it's
right.
still one of the most actively played games.
Yeah.
It's been released on 3 different console generations.
It is, yeah. I don't like some of the way GTA Online has gone, like with the flying cars and stuff. I do find that annoying.
No one likes that.
The PvP 2 and GTA Online. Okay, GTA Online has everything better than Red Dead. The only thing better Red Dead has, and it's kind of sad, is just gunfights. That's it.
See, I like Red Dead much more for its setting.
Yes, yeah. I'm a fan of the Wild West.
I know it's GTA. I know people really like that game is for like modern day stuff, but like I don't like the wackiness of like that's in the GTA.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Red Dead Redemption is much more serious.
And
I feel
GTA
like-
4 actually is a lot like Red Dead 2. It's a lot more serious GTA 4. The only wacky thing about GTA 4 is how bad the cops are at bringing you down. But besides that, I mean, it's a very grounded, realistic game. GTA 5, yeah, a little more wacky, which I don't like. I think it's a lot. It makes the story worse. It makes the online a little goofier. But it keeps some people on. So I mean, as if they're getting people on it, then there must be doing something right. So
Yeah, that's good. Any other comments, questions, concerns for GTA 5 or 6 or 12? Any other thing? Okay. What else we got? We got who was it? You know what? For the guy who doesn't play any video games whatsoever, I like to bring something up. Animal Crossing.
what are we?
It's still a video game. We can
It is. We can talk about it.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, I played this at the beginning of the pandemic as well. When
It's very
out.
addicting.
Yeah, it was. I know. I played it for like a good couple of weeks when my younger brother got it. Then I stopped, but I do appreciate it for what it is.
I've never played it, so I don't know how
it's just a relaxing game, pretty much. It's so funny how this game came out the same day as like the new Doom game came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was like, it was like a fandom uniting pretty much another fan. Yeah, there was no conflict, there was no clash. Everyone was having like a good time with their game, and everyone was happy. It was so weird. It's funny at the same time.
Yeah. The only reason why I brought this up is because a friend of mine, Alyssa, I'm calling you out live on the internet. That's okay. Alyssa, my good friend, plays this until like God knows when in the morning. So, and I just want to give a shout out to Alyssa and Animal Crossing, how addicting it is. That's about it. Anyways, really quick. Here's a good one on Bully 2.
Oh yeah, so Bully is another game that Rockstar made, and
It's a Rockstar game, yeah.
yes, and like they never made a sequel to it. Everyone wants a sequel to Bully.
She's coming after you. No, it's just joking around though.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Bully 2 I'm excited for. Actually, one of my friends who's like an active Rockstar follower like me is very excited for Bully 2. I really hope they give attention to Bully. It's a great game. The first one, I liked it.
What is it about?
It's pretty much like GTA in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're pretty much a bully. It's pretty much what it is.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, it's a very good game. I played it so long ago, I barely remember it. But for when I did play it though, it's a pretty solid game, and I can't wait for the second one.
Yeah.
If it ever comes out.
Yeah.
Andrew, anything on Bully 2 or anything?
No, I'm good.
Do you guys have any other games you want to talk about, or?
Yeah, actually, do you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
you can go. I'm pretty good with the game.
So
We got
do you have any games that you feel are underrated? Or
Pac-Man?
franchises that are
No, I'm
underrated?
Pac-Man. I'm kidding. Let's see. Honestly, can we say Lego Batman 2 and 3 are underrated?
Yeah, I would.
I hate to be like, like kiddish, but Lego Batman, they're fun. I started playing 3 when it came out, and then I just stopped.
There's a lot of Lego games that I think are actually very solid.
And yeah,
the Force Awakens one was really good.
Yeah,
I really like that one. The reason why I bring up underrated games is like one of my underrated like franchises as a whole. They had the most recent game came out in 2019. It's called Ace Combat. So the most recent was Ace Combat 7. It's a fighter jet game, and it's just like an arcade flying game. It is so good. If you want to look it up, it's just Ace Combat. That's pretty much it. But like the amount of effort and detail and the sound quality in this game is just so funny that you didn't expect it from a game that you're just flying around in jets shooting down other planes.
Oh, I actually remember watching Lego Batman 3 gameplay from my girlfriend playing it. The one problem I have with that game is how annoying it is when you switch characters to like Wonder Woman and she starts flying and it's like starts her theme song. Like how annoying that was. But besides that, I thought it was a really good game. I thought it was a really solid game.
Yeah. I I'm a big Lego guy. You know, I have to admit that on camera. Like I'm a big Lego guy, both in video games and not. What 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 other Star Wars video games were there for Lego?
Lego. There was the original trilogy,
And they're making a new one.
the prequels, the complete saga, and now there was the Force Awakens, and now there's a new one coming out.
There's also
That's the next Lego game coming
don't
out.
forget Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars.
Yeah,
Based
and
off the TV show.
they're gonna come out with a new Lego Star Wars game. Here, you
Yeah,
can
the
look that up.
Skywalker saga,
Yeah,
Okay.
which is gonna be all 9 movies and
Wow.
as well as like DLC for like The Mandalorian and Bad Batch.
In Lego form or just regular game?
Lego form.
Karina, no one cares about your horsey games.
Oh boy. Tyler Thunder in the chat board. Thank you so much for commenting. The free Stardew Valley updates are big and the game challenging, just like No Man's Sky. The big free 1.5 for Stardew Valley came out a few months ago and was huge. I think the big free 1.6 update for Stardew Valley is in the works. I hope we see an area added in this and have a big free 1.6 update for Stardew City. I'm gonna Google that.
Yes, so Stardew Valley is like that. Like I said, that's one guy made by one guy, and it's like you just buy the game once and it's all free from there. Every content update is free for you. Doesn't
Good.
matter if you have to buy it again. It's all free. It's really nice.
That's cool. I mean, I like I said, I'm again full disclaimer. I am like completely. I don't really know a lot about video games. That's why I have two guys talking about it with me. So, but yeah, like hopefully, I mean, Tyler Thunder. I hope that answers your question. Kyle, you have any comments for Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley.
This game right here.
Huh. No, I actually have not heard about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a little game that you could get on Steam for like $20. And it's like I feel like it's worth every penny. It's just a game that you can just sit back and relax and play.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty interesting.
It reminds me of like the old school Mario. To be honest.
Yeah, the some of the graphics.
Yeah, the main focus is just you just build a farm. That's it. You grow crops.
That's cool.
Is there any horses?
Yes, you can get a horse in the game.
Okay, Karina, that's another game you can get. Okay, Stardew Valley.
Sweet. Any other games you guys can think of? Or chat board, any games you can think of that you want us to talk about tonight?
Jay, do you play the Fortnite song? I love that song.
Maybe
That's one of the biggest memes
Yeah.
around right now is the Fortnite song.
Oh boy. Stardew Valley is also for PS4, Switch, and Xbox One.
Yep, it's on all consoles pretty much.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Might have to do some farming.
And it has multiplayer.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
pretty neat.
Yeah, it used to
yeah, I
be
can
single player, and then they have
Yeah.
a multiplayer patch come out.
Andrew, the three of us can play.
The three of us, yeah, we'll make like a walkthrough or something.
We'll do a tutorial on how to grow a farm.
I feel like if my girlfriend joined, she would starve all of us to feed her horses in the game, though. So I don't know if she should join or not.
Are there any new Mario games coming out?
I don't think so.
They're usually actually I don't think there is one right now that if there is one being made, Nintendo's always very tight-lipped about it. They never share what they're working on.
Right.
That's the most recent one I think was Odyssey actually, which was 2017. I feel that was a launch year for Switch. But that was the last probably Mario game. Very good. It's very good Mario game. But yeah, I don't think there's any other Mario games in development currently that I know of.
I don't think so.
Like I said, Nintendo is always very tight-lipped about this stuff.
Yeah. I honestly think how many more Mario Karts can you make?
Mario Kart 8
I would
Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 was a Wii U title that they ported to Switch. That's why it has a deluxe.
Okay.
So the Switch doesn't have a Mario Kart game for that was made for the Switch. Like 8 was made for the Wii U that they brought to the Switch. There isn't a game that was made just for the Nintendo Switch, if you know what I'm saying.
Just any other comments from Mario? I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's good for me.
Okay. Steam Tyler Thunder, thank you so much for chatting with us. Steambot Chronicles is another gem and another game that should come back. Steambot Chronicles came out in 2005 for PS2. Steamboat Chronicles was going to come out for PS3, but sadly got canceled due to the Japanese earthquake.
Huh.
Steamboat.
I've never heard about that.
I mean, Andrew, you heard this?
No, but it reminds me of most of the PS2 games for that time. I know, like, by the looks of it, it reminds me of like Shenmue and Final Fantasy or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've never really heard of this franchise before. I know of some developers, that some developers have games that they just forgot about, like Rockstar, the Bully franchise. No sequel to that one.
Yeah.
But like I remember there are some games that are just like they have a game for the PS2 and like never seen again, or like a Nintendo GameCube, never seen again. That was like the last game they've ever made for it.
He says you could do a lot in Steamboat Chronicles. You could use mechs, play pool, invest in real estate, play in a band.
Yeah, that sounds very much like a Japanese RPG.
Yeah, basically.
I never really got into Japanese games besides like Dragon Ball.
I'm very hit or miss with them. There are some really good ones, but there's this most of them. It ultimately depends on like who's the developer and is the gameplay fun and entertaining. Like if it's a turn-based like RPG, I'm not that big of a fan of anymore.
Yeah, and I never liked turn-based RPGs really much. I like regular RPG games mostly.
Yeah. Like games like Kingdom Hearts, that was a fun one I really enjoyed. The story does not make any sense at all, but the gameplay's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can there.
Kingdom Hearts doesn't make a lot of sense, but I mean, a lot of people like it, so.
Yeah, I haven't played 3 yet, the most recent one, but
Yeah.
all I know is just like the story is just so confusing because it's one of those franchises where every game matters and you have to play every single game, even if it's on a different console.
That's yeah.
It's kind of limiting like that.
Right. I will say this. He did bring up the first thing he mentioned was The Sims.
Yeah.
We're going back now, but like, he brought this up. I thought, why not bring it up? Any thoughts on The Sims, guys, really quick?
I have a good friend that really likes the Sims franchise, mainly because it's one of those games where you can just make your own characters and have fun with them. And
you can kill them too.
Oh yeah, you can kill
Go
them
a bunch with them.
That's great.
And it's just like you just make a bunch of characters and you dress. It's just a dress-up game pretty much, and some people really like that. And
There's actually I was surprised when I saw Sims how in depth the game was.
Mhm.
I did not expect it to be like that, like that in depth.
It's kind of like an adult Minecraft. If you think about it, you could like do your own character, create your own world.
It's a lot more in depth. Like you could actually like buy vet hospitals. You can like get pets as like patients, and I saw a funny video where someone trapped all the pets in the place, and the pets never got home, and I think the pets died eventually. But it was
I like the one of where if you put someone in a pool and you remove the pool ladder for them to get out, they'll drown in the pool.
Yeah. I know. That's where I watched The Sims. Is her 3 and 4. Yeah, I know the 3 has a little more options as far as you can.
Yeah,
have
I know 4.
and-
I know 4 is a little limiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3 you could have like a lot of like models, like horses, or a lot of types of pets, or it's a more well-rounded game. And also Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. Here, type that in real quick. That's a good game.
Oh yeah, that's I recommend.
Tsushima.
So I played. I own it. I haven't beaten it yet because I sort of dropped out with it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Ghost of Tsushima. It's visually a beautiful game. It's probably one of my favorite looking games. Like the art style of it. There's even like a game mode in which everything's in black and white. It's called like the Kira Kurosawa mode, which is really cool. But the thing was why I kind of got bored with it honestly because of I'm not a big fan of the gameplay loop.
I was a fan though. Okay, keep going. I have something to say.
So for games, when it comes to open world games, because this Ghost of Tsushima is open world, I really have to be invested in the main story. And if I get bogged down with side quests and you give me like 5 side quests to do, I'm going to either forget what's going on with the main story because I want to focus on all the side quests before I do the story because I want to like level up and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then that makes it feel boring because I'm not doing the main story, which everyone is talking about they love because it's very cinematic.
Mhm.
And then it's just like just go clear out like a outpost and
Mhm.
that will reveal a section of the map and more side quests appear on it. Like
Something though I really appreciate about Ghost of Tsushima, and this is coming from someone who has done sword martial arts,
Mhm.
not Japanese but Korean, a little bit different, but they have a bunch of stances,
Oh
and a
yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of different ways to go at combat. It's very
The combat was
in-depth.
fun.
Yeah.
For me, this might come across a little bit of arrogant or something like that, but I felt it was a little too easy, so I had to increase the difficulty a bit.
Yeah.
Um, But one thing that I absolutely loved about Ghost of Tsushima was the photo mode. Is a direct button on your controller that instantly engages to the photo mode, and I just love
the
stuff
photo
like
mode.
that.
I've seen the editing in the photo mode.
Yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima. I love Red Dead, but Ghost of Tsushima has the best photo mode I've ever seen.
There's
in a game.
I love it when a game incorporates a photo mode with like one easy press. No Man's Sky did it. Jedi Fallen Order did it in like a later patch that I absolutely loved. And then Ghost of Tsushima came out right with the launch. You're like, hey, press this button, you're going to engage your photo mode. It's not like a button combination like it's tucked away. It's one button press, photo mode right there. I take a picture. It's amazing.
It's you can change the weather. You can change
the weather, the time of day, if it's what type of effects are on the field. It's really good looking.
It is, it's some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen.
And the opening sequence is jaw dropping too.
Yeah.
It's like where the title card comes up and you're just on your horse through a field and the music is swelling up and then the title appears. It's like, that's really well done.
Yeah. And it is, I think it's it's based off of, it's not the most historically accurate. It's actually mostly based off of old samurai movies. Cause I know the Mongolians who are in the game never had that type of armor that they appear to have in the game. They were very light. Like the armor the Mongolians wore was very light, leathery, not like the Japanese where you can see like right there, like they have like they're fully decked out in armor. The Mongolians really never had that. They're mostly a horse, a horse military, which was like based on mobility, not really fighting with swords and spears and stuff. But besides that, though, I thought the game was pretty good. I did like it more than The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, exactly. I agree wholeheartedly on that.
Yeah, Last of Us 2. I don't know if you want to talk about.
No, I don't want to. That's a bad place to talk things.
Yeah. I think that could have been better. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima thought was good.
One thing I want to say about Ghost of Tsushima, though, is it's very interesting. I think there's a movie being made for it right now.
Oh wow!
By the director of the John Wick franchise.
Oh,
and also the developers for the game have been recognized and made ambassadors for the real life island of Tsushima because the Japanese people love the game so much, and they started in like for the period accurate for like the most part that they made them like ambassadors.
Yeah.
So that's really well deserved on their part.
Also, one thing about Ghost of Tsushima, like, okay, now speaking of like modeling in a game, I like the Red Dead horse model way better than in Ghost of Tsushima, like in every way. But the one thing I appreciate about Ghost of Tsushima is when you called your freaking horse, your horse is right there for you to get on. I remember in Red Dead how many times I'd struggle with. I mean, even now, like when I get in PvP fights where I'll be running away because I'm going towards the enemy and the horse is like taking a sweet time to get to me. With Ghost of Tsushima, the pathfinding for the horse to get right to you is so much better.
Yeah.
It's
another thing also I want to talk about the horses in video games is when it comes to open world games and you have to collect resources and stuff like that, and you have a horse that you can ride around to travel faster. If you have the option to allow the player to pick up something from the ground that you don't have to dismount a horse for implement it into the game like these guys did, because I have that quality of life improvement for like other open world games where I don't have to dismount a horse to pick up a stick.
Yeah.
Was so relieving. I loved it so much.
Yeah, it was definitely not. It's like your horse. Like I know with I only reason I know it's biased to keep talking about Red Dead, but I know it's just the game with the best horse mechanics. I know with Red Dead, when you get to a certain point, your horse can pick up like certain items for you and give it to you in your hand, for like flowers and stuff like that. It's very refreshing not having to constantly get off of your horse all the time. Yeah, I've seen so many games do it badly. Like honestly, I love Skyrim, but its horses are probably one of the worst horses I've ever had played in gaming. It's the horses are fat and they're slow and like they're basically literally good for nothing. I mean, you just think. I mean, also in a game where you can fast travel very easily. There's not much you can do with it. So I appreciate how much stuff they put into horses for Red Dead and Ghost of Tsushima, and I think it's definitely an improvement. They're getting better,
Yeah.
I think, at horses in open world games as time goes on. RDO2 has that for collector mode. You can pick up plants. Yeah, you can pick up plants from the ground. You can it's so much easier than constantly getting off your horse to get a freaking flower. It's just it's a lot better. So yeah, hopefully as time goes on, they can still keep improving on that. I mean, even when GTA did that with cars. I know I'm kind of like going back and forth, but in Forza 2, have you ever played Forza?
No, I know what it is though.
Yeah, the car mechanics are getting better too. I mean, you have handling that's getting better.
Yeah, I know Forza Horizon 4 has like the most realistic depiction.
Oh my god, you can tune your car how you want. You can the traveling aspect in games I think are definitely improving as time goes on. It's not so generic. I have a question. Would you rather a game have fast travel or like go by yourself? I mean, on a horse or a car, or
if you give me the option to fast travel, I will 100% take it.
Yeah, same.
I won't use it like all the time, but like to get to a point where I have not been before, I can't fast travel. I'll do. But if it's been to a place that I have been before, I will most likely use the fast travel. I know. Surprisingly, that was. Red Dead 2 single player did not have fast travel per se. It was only in like if you go to a train station or a stagecoach, you can go to a certain point, but most travel was done by horse. That game that I was okay was not having like fast travel per se. But if you give me an option to fast travel to a specific point where I need to go for like a quest or a mission, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah. What are you doing? Live the I saw you wanted to talk about that. I haven't heard of this game.
You guys heard of this?
I have not.
Okay, so hold on. I gotta pull it up for it. This I'm showing this on. I don't care if I show this.
I think the top one.
This one, yeah, the teaser trailer. Hold on, because Tyler Thunder in the chat. No, this is not the video. Hold on. Where's YouTube? Hold on.
Yeah, no, that's Steam. That seems right.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do on here. That way, like, okay, hold on here. Brace yourself, everyone. We're doing something we've never done before. We're going to show a video on a video. Here we go. Here we go. Brace yourself.
When it loads in.
If it loads, my Wi-Fi is going to go so good. I mean, it looks cool.
So it's like what? Like a Sims game, pretty much.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Cause I haven't heard of this game before.
You know, this was an update for a game that was brought up before called Live the Life.
Okay, so it sounds like a simulator.
Game. Sorry, I had to bring this up because why not? I mean, have you guys heard about this game or no?
I have not.
I have not heard about that.
Okay. I wanted to show it just because, why not? But yeah.
Well, one person says they're terrible life simulator. I hope not.
Oh, jeez.
I've never. I know like some simulator games, quote unquote, like for like in a somewhat niche, I think like truck or like Euro simulator, like Euro trucker.
I remember playing like stuff like Roblox, like dinosaur simulators when I was a little kid.
Okay, that's
I usually only play the
Roblox.
Roblox is the only game I play. But seriously, I usually like animal simulators, like honestly, usually dinosaurs or like something like that. Because I mean, people simulators, like I do like them, but sometimes I feel like it's just like real life stuff. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to play like real life, that's why I think when you make a simulator based on a time period where you haven't lived in or something you haven't experienced is a lot better than like a simulator based on 2020.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Like that. Or I mean, even like Assassin's Creed 3 or like Assassin's Creed. I know it's not a simulator, but I think when you put games in eras that you haven't been in, stuff you haven't seen, like even dinosaur simulators. Potential. Yeah, it's more like, okay, I haven't ever seen this. So let's see this person's take on how things would have been during this time. It's a lot more interesting. I mean, I do like The Sims sometimes, but yeah, I like a certain niche of Sims rather than, just regular life Sims. That's just my opinion on them, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Anything else, guys? Any other comments?
Not really.
Concerns? Chat board, anything?
How long have we been going for?
An hour and a half.
Wow.
No, hold on. An hour and a half. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, can I just give a shout out to everyone who's been in the chat board? Kyle's girlfriend, Tyler Thunder. You guys have been great. Bill Murphy was in the chat board earlier.
Guys.
You guys have been killing it tonight on the Super Review Show's live stream about video games. You guys are doing great. Hopefully, you guys are kicking some butt. Doing great. Any other? If you have any other video games, shout them out in the chat board now. Before we may sign off soon, depending on how late it gets.
I think before we sign off, we talked about like our favorite video games of all time.
Oh yeah. Okay,
you go first.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Okay, so mine's a quite unique title. It's an indie game called Hyperlight Drifter.
Hyper, if I can type.
Yeah, that top one right there. If you want, it's as a like a pixel art sort of art style. It's a I guess the genre is called like a Metroidvania, which like you basically exploring the environment. But the story for this game is told by the locations you go to. It's like there's no actual line of dialogue in the game. It's all visual. It's like from where you travel, that's when you see what happened to the world. It's a very unique game. It's only $20 on Steam. It's an indie game at that. It has a very unique soundtrack and art style I just absolutely adore.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see what you want to scroll down a little bit more, see what it looks like some bit. It's made by an indie studio. Basically, I think around like 100 or so guys, I believe. It's like I think sort of like the story is in a way is about the main creator, like the guy of the game, the main developer is, because the main developer has this heart condition in real life that it basically is he has to take all this medicine and basically keep on living. But in the game, you're dying from this disease throughout the game. You're slowly dying over the course of time, pretty much, and you have to save the world before eventually you die. And it's corruption is just plaguing the world. You're going through this location, trying to get rid of this corruption. And it's just like the fast gameplay of it is just so good. And like the exploration part where you're just like going from one point to the next and like you're comboing your sword attack with a gun attack and then going back to like a dash. It's very fast and it's very fun. I highly recommend this game.
I think I think it looks interesting, to be honest. I'd say for my favorite game, I'm not going to talk about Red Dead because you already know that's my favorite. So I'm going to actually do something else since we already talked about Red Dead so much. So this would be probably the second most hours I put into a game. It's not the best game, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's this game. It's still it's gotten updates, a lot of updates. It's a lot better than it used to be. It's actually a comeback game, I guess, if we want to call it that. It's a strategy game. My brother plays this so much. He is one of the better players on this game, is kind of known. He's been on a lot of YouTubers' videos. It's a strategy game, a unit-based game. You pick units and you can
like Age of Empires.
Yeah. So
Is it turn-based or like real time?
No, real time. It's real time. Well, no, it's real time and turn-based. So every country, so when you're out of the battle map, every country has a turn in terms of economic development, purchasing of units and stuff like that. But once you go into a battle,
it's real time.
It becomes real time. So
that's cool.
So you basically have to flank. There's a lot of strategy to it. Some people on this game are insane with how quick they are with commands. I feel like it's not as like in depth as in terms of what's that one? All those like esports players play, like League of Legends, but it is like a light game in terms of strategy. Like you use a lot of strategy. You try to go for cost-effective units, and there's like a bunch of different game modes. So there's PvP, there's custom battles, there's campaigns. So you say you play as Rome, you can take over all of Europe or Germany or Greece, or it's an interesting game, and I would definitely recommend it. Or if not, if you don't want to play this game, just keep eye on this franchise here.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of this one.
Total War. Yeah. So there's Warhammer 3 coming out right now.
Oh yeah, and then there's 40K that.
Yeah.
Like the
so I don't
one.
think that. Yeah, and just if you don't want to play Total War Rome 2, just keep an eye on the Total War franchise. I'm sure they're going to come out with a good historical game soon. Hopefully, my brother's been telling me they will. And also, they just remastered the first Rome.
Okay, yeah. I thought they did something with that.
Yeah, recently, yeah. I prefer Rome 2, but Rome Remastered is also very, very good.
How much hours do you have in it?
Oh, I can't even remember, but it is definitely the second most game I've played behind Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
and my third is probably Red Dead 1. But yeah, I definitely would recommend one of these games. I mean, a lot of history to learn from and stuff like that. So yeah, it's my game.
Yeah, so you talk about hours and stuff like that. I know I said like Hyper Light Drifter is my favorite game, but if I would say my most played game, that's going to be like Destiny 2. I have on Steam, I have over 200 hours into that game, and then of course on PlayStation, I have no idea how much hours I have in that.
I'm going to see if I can pull up something if you want to know how much I play Red Dead too much. I feel actually hold up. If you want to see,
I know I got over 100 hours in 2020 alone for Destiny 2 on PlayStation, and I currently have over 200 hours on Steam. So it's like two different locations I play on pretty much because they have this thing called cross save, in which you can basically your data is transferred depending on which system you play on. So I can play as my character on PlayStation, stop playing, and I go up and play on my laptop, and all of my progress is saved. So it doesn't matter which console I play on.
I'm going to tell you how many player kills I have on. Hold on, let me see if I can get to this. I think it's around upwards of 70,000 player kills now.
In Red Dead?
Yeah, I play a game way too much. 70,000. Yeah, so I probably have. Oh man, I almost played it every day for 2 years. Yeah, probably more than I don't know, maybe 1,000 hours. I would say, yeah. And then Rome is somewhere maybe 300, 400 on that. I love both those games. So yeah,
nice,
mean, those are my picks. So that be wrap it up or.
I'll share one really quick that I always have. Because I don't really, I don't play video games at all really. But like when I did, it was all that Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And this is just a all. I'm not gonna go super into it, but like this is just an all around fun game. I love it to death, and I think it's complete. I think it might be the best Lego Star Wars game
racer
out.
level.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard.
It was so good. But yeah, like so. And before we wrap it up, too, I just want to say Tyler Thunder, and just want to give him a shout out. He's been a long time subscriber of us here at the Super Review Show for a long time, and he's wanted us to do video game content for a long time. So this. I'd like to dedicate this episode, this special to you, my good man, Tyler Thunder. This episode's for you, and to cap off, I wanted to pull up So I didn't show the actual trailer, the update trailer. Actually, I made a small mistake on that. That was my bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the a different video that is it's like an extra 30 seconds, so it's not that long. 1 second. It is called, hold on, the actual update here, Live the Life. Sorry, stalling live on air. 0.3. By the way, he pointed out to me something interesting about this game. This game is completely made by one person. And I wanted to show the actual trailer right here. So let's show it out. Right here on the Super Review Show. Here we go.
It's in the Unreal Engine.
Hi, I'm John Diner Jr. and I've got a job for you.
The quality is dipping.
A little bit.
Here, take a look.
There we go.
Hopefully YouTube doesn't sue us. Donuts.
So, yeah, video games are at an interesting point right now where it's like one guy can make something. If you know what to do, like how to program stuff, you can make it.
Huh.
That's something like I kind of want to try getting into, but like I don't think I have the skill set for.
Yeah, it looks really cool, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so like that was made. It looked like it was made in the Unreal Engine, which is like a gaming engine that you can. I think it's pretty much open source, in which you can make whatever you want. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and he said it was made by one guy, which makes it even better. But ultimately, guys, before we wrap things up for tonight, I just want to say thank you to all of you who watched tonight. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the people who rewatched this and see if you're looking for good video game content. I know there's IGN, I know there's all this other crap out there, but if you're looking for some good recommendations, I hope we gave a couple of you guys tonight. I want to thank the fine gentleman joining me tonight, Mr. Andrew Schultz right here, or Asthma of Earth, as he likes to be called here on the chat board. Thank you so much for coming, Asthma, the man. And Mr. Kyle, the forehead Cushing, is back. It's good to see you, of course.
That's right.
And yeah, everyone, we hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. You guys are great. I cannot emphasize that this is probably the most healthiest stream we've had probably all year so far. Let's keep it up. We'll see you guys next week live on the Super Review Show for Mixed Bag next Wednesday. Hopefully you guys join us for that as well. And for all your video game content, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man and the crew are off to work. We'll do another stream like this at some point. I want to say probably, and we'll talk about it in the coming weeks or so. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm sure we'd love to all do this again.
Yeah.
I mean, another video game stream would be amazing. Talking about other games and just do it laid back like this one again.
I'm sure rounding 3 too would be good.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll talk about it more in the coming weeks, and I'll keep you posted on what we decide to do moving forward. Again, thank you so much, everyone. You guys are awesome. Stay safe, and be cool. We'll see you guys next time.